murder here. Detective Cellular Respiration on the case.
So what is your name?
I'm hypothesis.
And what do you do?
I'm considered the first stage in cellular respiration. But, you know, people consider me, like, violent. I break down glucose. But a killer? That's really just not me.
So where do you work?
I'm in the cytoplasm. You know, I'm not even really interacting with these other people that you're interviewing. I don't really think it's necessary for me to be grouped in with them, you know?
Well, it depends on what your product is.
See, I only make 2 ATP, and I make 2 pyruvate and 2 NADH. For me to murder for 2 ATP? That seems like a little too much, don't you think? Murder for 2 ATP.
So what is your name?
I'm the citric acid cycle, but my friends call me the Krebs cycle.
And what do you... So what do you do?
I receive acetyl-CoA from the oxidation of pyruvate, and I send it through my 8 stages of my cycle, reusing oxaloacetate.
So where do you do all of this?
I'm located in the mitochondrial matrix, but don't get it twisted, I was not a part of this murder.
Tell me one more time, what are your products?
I produce 2 ATP, not nearly enough work to go through a murder. And I produce CO2 for the first time, sending it out of the cell. I'm producing FADH, NADH. I mean, I've got a lot of products. I'm a very busy lady. I have a very structured organization, and I don't have time to do things like murder.
Okay. So what is your name?
I'm oxidative phosphorylation.
And what do you do?
Well, I'm basically the whole person running this show. Like, I'm responsible for the electron transport chain and chemiosmosis, okay? So I don't have time to do whatever you think that I've done.
So where do you do all of this?
I do it in the cristae and also between the inner membrane and the matrix, so I'm kind of all over the place.
So if you do all these things, what's your products? How much ATP do you make?
Well, for the electron transport chain, I make a lot of H+, which gives us so much membrane potential, but it doesn't stop there. When that H+ is used in my friend ATP synthase, I make 36 ATP and water.
All I'm saying is if it were me, I'd keep an eye on ETC and the Krebs cycle. Those two, they're in cahoots.
I've got some people telling me that you're to blame for the murder of glucose. So what's your alibi?
I was sticking to my cycle. Look, it couldn't have been me, okay? You interviewed oxidative phosphorylation. You saw how active she was. Reactions have to go through me first to get to her. I swear.
For my past 2 interviews, you've got some explaining to do. Where were you the night that glucose was murdered?
I was in the inner membrane space between the matrix and the membrane. I don't know what you think that I was doing, but I'm responsible for everything getting done around here. I really don't have time to have anything to do with glycolysis and glucose being shady. I saw them together.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm getting off for today. I'm gonna take off my foot and I'll like show you.
Detective, we have to talk to you.
We know something.
What is it?
Glycolysis is lying to you. We know she broke down glucose. She's told us ourselves.
Do you have any proof?
I mean, it starts with her. I mean, it's in her name. Don't you know what glycolysis means? The breakdown of glucose.
She was born a murderer.
I mean, it's in her blood. Her evolutionary history, she started breaking down glucose from the beginning of time.
Glycolysis, you're under arrest.
It takes more than one to murder glucose.
What did she mean? Can't figure it out. There's something that they all have in common. There's O2 in the air. They're all aerobic. They're all responsible. Freeze! You're all under arrest.
No!
I sentence all of you to
Detective Cellular Respiration, who have just busted the murder of glucose. Detective, tell us, what is the findings of this case?
In the beginning, I thought it was all glycolysis, but then I realized it doesn't just stop with glycolysis, or it doesn't just end with glycolysis. Glycolysis makes products to go into acetyl-CoA, and then that goes into the Krebs cycle, the citric acid cycle. And then that funnels into the electron transport chain, which makes ATP, which will, in the end, they all break down glucose. It's all their fault. It wasn't just glycolysis.
Cellular Respiration providing energy and keeping us safe once again.